Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, just chilling here in the airport. We got a lot of things to talk about in boxing, got a lot of videos to do, so fuck it. Let's knock them all out. I told myself that I wasn't gonna make a video about Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley, and I succeeded. I didn't make one video about it. I didn't make one video about it when it was Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. I didn't make no videos about it when they announced the replacement opponent. But man, Jake Paul, I gotta give it to him, man. He has gotten me to do a video about him. Great performance. I mean, people can say what they want about Jake Paul, and look, it's funny because when Jake Paul first became a factor in boxing, I couldn't stand his ass. Then it got to a point where I loved Jake Paul, and now I'm just kind of like neutral. Like, I don't hate him, don't love him either, because I don't want to keep seeing these exhibitions happen in boxing. But you know what? He's delivering. Like, I know people are gonna criticize him and say, well, he's not fighting anybody. But guess what? Like, who was your favorite fighters fighting in the sixth fight? Like, who was Canelo or Chocolatito or Gaio Estrada or Floyd or Manny Pacquiao? Who are these guys fighting in their sixth fight? Who was Clarissa? Who are these people fighting in the sixth fight? They weren't fighting nobody special. So let the kid live. He's doing good at the box office. He's bringing new eyes to the sport. Don't get mad at him for exploiting the game. Get mad at the system. Get mad at how freaking easy it is to become a professional boxer. Get mad at the sport and the way it's administrated, and the commissions sanction these fights. They're the ones that are to blame. Blame Showtime. Blame your network executives. That's who you should be blaming, because these are the people that are solely responsible for why he's getting the platform he's getting in the boxing world. But look, Jake Paul. Love him, hate him. Jake Paul is delivering knockouts. Jake Paul is fighting consistently, and Jake Paul is entertaining. Now, being entertaining, delivering knockouts, and being active, these are two of the like most fighters in boxing. Some of our favorite fighters don't have any of these things. Like, how many fighters do we know that are the greatest fighters in the world, and they fight once a year, or when they do fight, they're not giving you big knockouts? And Jake Paul's doing these things consistently. I know you can't compare his opposition to these other guys' opposition, but I'm just saying, he really is exposing a lot of what's wrong with boxing, like from a business standpoint, from even the fan standpoint, even like people in boxing, like these boxing purists. And I'm a boxing purist, so don't get it twisted. This is a channel for hardcore boxing fans. This is a channel for boxing purists. But I almost feel like the boxing community and the boxing purists, they can't look beyond themselves and see the bigger picture. Boxing, for good, bad, or indifferent, because of the way the business is ran, has been relegated to a niche sport in America. I hate saying that, but it's the truth. There's only a handful of fighters and fights and matchups that can get the American public's general public's attention here in America. Like, for example, last night, right? Gilberto Ramirez fought last night. Gilberto Ramirez, phenomenal young Mexican fighter, world champion at 168, looking to be world champion at 175. Exciting style. They had to section off the whole upper deck, the whole second level, and the only level they used was the first level of the arena, and even that didn't sell out. So people can say they want real boxing, and that will always have its audience. But the reality is that boxing needs to survive. Boxing needs to sell tickets. And Jake Paul knows how to market himself. He knows how to be entertaining. A lot of these fighters, I interview them. Like, you're talking to someone who interviews lots of fighters. Sometimes it's like pulling teeth from these fighters. They don't want to be themselves. They don't want to take the mask off. They don't want to be who they actually are outside of boxing, because they're afraid of public criticism. But then here we have a guy like Jake Paul who doesn't care about that kind of public criticism, and he's unapologetically himself, for good, bad, or indifferent. And that gets attention, and that gets people to watch him, and that generates ticket sales, and that generates pay-per-view buys, and that generates attention. So, I think Jake Paul, whether you love him or hate him, he's entertaining. And look, I covered the Gilberto Ramirez fight last night, and I've watched the highlights to that knockout more than I've watched probably anything from the Gilberto Ramirez card, the whole card, including Seniesa Estrada, whom I love dearly. But like, the knockout was that good, and who knows? Like, who knows, man? Who knows? If he continues staying dedicated and he really takes his sport serious, you can say he's not fighting nobody. But listen, it doesn't matter whether you're fighting tomato cans or world champions. To knock people out the way he's knocking them out, it means you have some punching power. And I think Jake Paul has some punching power. He has punching power. We'll see if he could actually land it against somebody who's actually a professional fighter once that time comes. But he has real deal punching power. Like, that wasn't no fake knockout last night. That wasn't no dive and stuff like that. And if that was a dive, that was a damn good dive. And Tyron Woodley should become an actor, because that was I'll tell you this, and I'm gonna leave it at this. I've seen some people say that the Jake Paul Tyron Woodley fight was rigged and Tyron Woodley took a dive. I'm gonna tell you this: Jake Paul's knockout of Tyron Woodley was more legitimate than Canelo Alvarez's knockout of Caleb Plant. His knockout was more His knockout of Tyron Woodley was more devastating than what I saw when Caleb Plant got knocked out against Canelo. You can say I'm being a hater, you can say what you want, but go back and watch the tape and tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying, you know? So that's what it is, man. I just want to get my thoughts out there on Jake Paul, because he does deserve some coverage. He's not my cup of tea, but I can appreciate what he's doing for the sport, because I do think we need people like him. And listen, he's getting fighters paid. Amanda Serrano said she became a millionaire, so I think she said she's retiring from boxing because she became a millionaire. You know, fighters like Liam Paro from Australia, he got a chance to fight on a big stage, and now more people know him. You know, just a lot of good positive things are happening in the sport of boxing because of Jake Paul, but purists and people don't want to see it. So I'm gonna choose to be fair and unbiased and give him his and just do. So I'm gonna leave it at that. You guys take care. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here. Boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God bless.